Huawei has unveiled an interesting long-term software project that promises to soup up its smartphones, especially in graphics-intensive tasks such as gaming. What's going on, guys? Will here for GSM Arena, and today we're going to talk a little bit about GPU Turbo. So what is GPU Turbo? It's a software-based upgrade that, through a series of tweaks, will do its best to optimize the graphics performance of Huawei phones. It's not really an FPS booster, but works to improve the efficiency of the GPU. It does this by acting as sort of a middleman between an app and the graphics APIs that drive the GPU. It takes a little peek at the next few frames, and tells the GPU what needs to be freshly rendered, and what is actually already there and can be reused. That way, the chip doesn't need to work as hard, and can either dial itself back, or ramp up the power based on the upcoming workload. Sounds pretty efficient, but the caveat is that since this software facilitates communication between the app and the GPU, it requires app support from developers. Load up an unsupported app or game and you won't see any benefits. However, Huawei is pushing for developer support of GPU Turbo, and even says that future versions of EMUI will implement the same technology, making for a more efficient user interface. We'll have to see. The only two games for now which support GPU Turbo are PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds and Mobile Legends Bang Bang. Using Gamebench, we compared a Huawei P20 without GPU Turbo to an Honor 10 which does have the upgrade. Pretty similar phones specs-wise. At gsmarena.com, you can also see a detailed comparison and breakdown done entirely on an Honor 10 before and after GPU Turbo. First up, it's PUBG at max settings. It's the more graphics intensive of the two games. Without GPU Turbo, frame rate is pretty stable in the home screen, with nothing going on. Once we get into the waiting area, we start to see some dips in FPS, especially when new players connect and spawn. Frame rate is again pretty stable during the airplane scene and the parachute drop sequence. Once you approach the ground though, there's some more stutter, as the game starts rendering in the buildings and objects. After GPU Turbo has been installed, the story is mostly the same. Frame rate isn't any higher, and you can still see a dip here in the waiting spawn area, and again on the parachute near the ground. However, these dips are smaller. The overall variance of the FPS is lower post-update, and the frame rate is more stable. In Mobile Legends at max settings, we saw the same pattern. Frame rate isn't improved after the update, but it's more consistent. Though since this is a less demanding title, the difference is smaller. So, how did the update affect power consumption? The difference was quite noticeable. We ran PUBG and measured how long it took to completely deplete the battery. The phone with GPU Turbo installed lasted 32 minutes longer, or roughly 13% in this particular test. GPU Turbo seems like a meaningful upgrade. Though not an overall performance booster, it does give more stable frame rates and better power efficiency. We've already heard that Qualcomm is working on something similar for their chipsets, so hopefully more app developers jump on board with support for these technologies. Thanks for watching, guys, and feel free to stop by gsmarena.com for our full test findings. See you!